All right, well, good evening, everyone. It's good to have you. My name is Dennis Franks, and I'm going to be your host this evening. We're going to talk about the Transitions Lifestyle System and all the things that have been happening in our round two of 28 days of weight loss. And it's always an exciting time to be here with you because we're weighing in on the small and large wins of the week. And you know what? It's a great, I guess for me, it just fires me up, to see each and every one of you getting from day to day to day and making progress to become a more vital you. And, when I think about this, I'm really excited to have my esteemed partners with me here. Andrew Weissman is our Vice President of Sales, and he travels the world with the company, and he's done a great job for us over the years. It's good to have you, Andrew, tonight. Okay. And also,
very excited to be here.
He's got a freeze there. Dr. Deidre Mason, good to have you. Yes. Yeah, so like froze
Sorry,
up. It's all good.
Yeah, because
Perfect.
Well, listen, that's the beauty of us coming together. It's all natural. Yeah. Then we have our director of training, Suzanne, who is really quite impressive. She's a specialist in nutritional sciences, and she has expertise in helping people maintain healthy blood sugar levels. And she teaches also around the world. It's so good to have you, Suzanne. And of course, our director of sales, and really a real energy behind this whole Transitions Lifestyle System as we work on a regular basis, and that's Melanie Nelson. And what I love most about Melanie is her energy. I mean, she brings it all the time. She's certified fitness expert. She's also been a very competitive athlete. You wouldn't know it, but what I love most about her is she's just jumping in and making a difference for so many people. We've got some very outstanding guests here today who's going to share some of their insight on their progress on the Transitions Lifestyle System and some of their insight. But, before we get started, I was thinking about this Transitions Lifestyle Journey, the TLS. And, I'm in love with this whole system, helping people to become more healthy, because we really focus on the science. We really focus on helping people to understand what and how this works. And we really base it off of 4 pillars. And that's finding new favorite foods is what we like to talk about, because when you think about low glycemic impact eating, it's really quite diverse in what you have, no matter where you live in the world. The other thing that we look at is body composition. We're not so focused on the scale. We're more focused on being more lean and cutting back on the amount of fat that we have on our bodies, which results in less pounds, of course. Then, of course, when we start working on it, we want to help our bodies do the very best. We want to get some science behind the product so that it helps your body become more efficiently. And working more efficiently is going to give you better results, long-term results, and inspire and really bring the fire out in your efforts. And then finally, education. And to me, education is so powerful because it helps you make better choices. And, that's the really short summary. There's a whole lot behind that, but those are the pillars that we'll be working with. But I was thinking about TLS, weight loss solution, and I was thinking about the joys of weight loss. Now, people don't talk about the joy of weight loss. They usually talk about deprivation, sacrifice. Oh, this is going to be so stressful. Everything in my life, it's going to be no fun. Nobody's going to want to hang out with me. I'll be the outcast. I'll be the loser in this whole process. And you know what? I think about this and I said, wow, that is such bad thinking. And, I started thinking about canceling that stinking thinking. We don't want that anymore as we move forward to become a more healthy and vital you. It's so important. So let's focus on the joys of weight loss, like the positive things that happen. I can't tell you how many new great friendships that I've met with people that are on the same journey that I was on throughout that. And the lifetime of friendships I have in working and helping people and supporting them, which really results from caring for more people than yourself, being out there and making a difference. And then again, when I start thinking about, hey, I'm getting more confidence and more belief, I believe I can fly, not really, but if you really want to see yourself going to another level, and health enhancement, you got better sleep. Hey, and here's a fact. This is so good. I was reading about this the other day, is that weight loss improves your mood. And I got to tell you what, so true. I see people become so different as they go into this journey because they're feeling better energy. They're more active. I mean, it's really, really special. And I just want everyone to feel that being on this TLS journey is not something that's taking anything away from you, but it's building you. It's just building you to a better you. And so with that, I sort of want to just dive into the evening and start talking to these amazing guests that we have. And so, Zan, I'm going to go to you up in Toronto to take our first guest and introduce him and talk to us a little bit about his story.
Okay, I'm actually very excited because I have someone representing Canada, Toronto. So
Canada.
welcome, Peter. So I met with Peter, and when he was sharing story, I guess, first of all, Peter is a very busy and very successful executive. And as you know, many executives, they're very good at making money, but they never had time for their own health, right, Peter? So
Yes.
for that, so Peter, can you kind of, I think I'm going to walk you through and ask you some questions, but can you share some of the struggle that you had prior to finding TLS program?
First of all, good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for having me here tonight. The good thing is that I'm here to share my story about the weight loss. The bad thing, I'm the first one after Dennis, which is unbelievable, right? So I'm gonna try to get to a little bit to the level that he got up here for the first 5 minutes. So yeah, I'm from Canada. I've been here for 27 years. I spent 12 years in the military, so I gotta mention that I started being very disciplined. I quit and I came to Canada and I started working in restoration. And I was very busy. When I reached 40, everything changed, right? So I started gaining weight. I had 2 attempts to lose weight, and I quit before I started, and because I was too busy to with work. So yeah, now I find 3 beautiful ladies here that help me get started, and I'm happy to answer any questions. You know.
Okay, so you can see it's busy executive, busy, like, because when I was I have my practice downtown, and one of the most common thing among executives is that they have no time for their health. And I actually want to add in something very quickly. I actually have one executive who always lined up eating, like, for us, Tim Horton is that your Dunkin' Donut is very popular, and he always have lunch at Tim Horton. And I was like, why do you always line up for Tim Horton? Is it you love donut that much? And this is his answer. He said, of all the lineup right there, Tim Horton was the shortest lineup. And that saved me the most time. That was the reason why he went to Tim Horton, not because it was the better choice, not because it tasted better, because he has no time, and he chose time instead of choosing quality of the food. So it says a lot, right, about people. A lot of people don't have enough time. And I think with Peter, I want, like you were saying about your struggle with being busy, and after 40, everything go downhill, you start gaining weight. So I would love to hear, like, what changed, like, after you started the TLS program. Maybe start up by sharing how much weight you lose altogether, and what are the changes that you have experienced with TLS program so far.
So I lost 28 pounds. I started 12 weeks ago. I oops, this is who I am. Yeah. So even that, I mean, I gotta say, I did a lot of sports in my life, and I did not feel my weight, so I was okay, so to say. But then I realized the quality of life that I had was not what I wanted, right? And being busy and not having time for myself, I got to the point that I had to do something to change that. So. Um, I gotta share this with you. I was a smoker. I quit about 13 years ago, and it took me a while to motivate myself to quit smoking. I was a social smoker. That's why I always said, well, it's not that bad. So with the weight loss, I think the strategy and the support that I got from the people that I got engaged with, this is what made me keep going and be motivated. I gotta say, I'm only halfway to my goal. I want to lose like 60 pounds, so I'm giving myself another 3 months to get to that point. And I change my lifestyle. I realize I have to eat properly, and I'm the only one who can take care of my body. Nobody else will if I don't. So I learned a lot from this. I share my story with a lot of people. The fact that we're in a breakdown, we've been in a breakdown for 2 months here in Toronto, didn't help a lot to show the people that if I can do it, everybody else can, right? So I cannot wait to get out there and meet people again and share my story and motivate other people to do what I do, what I did, right? So I'm pretty sure like 3 months from now, I'm going to look completely different.
We cannot wait to see you 3 months later,
Yeah,
another 3 months later to see your progress. And I understand that you did mention that prior to when we were meeting before that, you said that you were eating better. There was less cravings, right? You were like less craving for sweets and carb, right? And you actually exercise every day, like
I,
during this whole time.
I do exercise every day. I do about an hour. And what I want to mention, I learned how to shop myself. So I am bypassing the bread and the boxes. So I'm only eating vegetables, and I've got the discipline to know that this is good for me, and I can see it. So I made a change for the rest of my life, and I'm committed to do that. And I hope I'm going to stay on the right track. I made a promise to myself that I'm going to have to enjoy uh, the quality of life for the rest of my life, not the quantity. You know what I mean? Because I live every second of my life from what I do. I love people. I love the business. I love helping. But now I got to help myself to enjoy quality, not
Yeah.
quantity.
And I have no doubt because you already mentioned a lot of the keywords that we say in TLS is not, it's a lifestyle, it's forever, it's not a one-time deal, it's not a diet. Then you talk about that you're changing, you bypass the bread, you learn about the education, and you have amazing coaches. You actually have 3 coaches coaching him. We have 3 TLS coaching him and a group of people. So that's amazing, and the structure and the support that we have. I think last but not least, I know you mentioned that there are some products that you love. Can you just, I know all the products, tell us one Tls product that you absolutely love during the last 3 months when you were on the Tls journey.
I would say the shake helped me a lot because, um, to be honest, the first time I like chocolate, but not that much. So I was able to mix it up with fruits, and Dennis is laughing. uh, uh, Now I'm eating it in the morning and sometimes for dinner, and I feel a lot lighter, so I think it's a great product. But it's not the only one. I lost weight because of the products that I use, not because of one. But I would say the shake, it's very convenient, right, for the busy people, right? All I did in the past, I'd say almost since I got out of the military, I did not eat in the morning. Now I know that I got to eat in the morning to get the energy to go through the day or make it until 12, 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. So I guess the education, like you said, Susan, it's uh, means a lot, right? If you educate yourself and you're disciplined enough to do it.
Well,
Awesome.
congratulations. We cannot wait to see more progress from you. I'm going to actually connect with your TLS coaches, which is actually, it was Nicola, Toru, and Tracy, to see how you're doing because I'm in Toronto, so I can check on you
Yes,
very easily.
Toru is chatting like crazy in here, giving you a big round of applause, Peter. And I just want to interject because I think it's really powerful what you said about, you know, the choices that you made. And my husband hates grocery shopping. So I just think it's like huge that you're like, I learned how to grocery shop for myself. Right. And I just think that's major. I think that's a big step in the right direction, and that you're choosing to, it sounds like you're choosing to shop on the outside of the grocery store and staying away from the middle of it, which is something we always teach our clients in TLS, because everything in the aisles is usually in a box, a can, or a bag, right? But if you stay on the outside, you're getting those whole foods from nature. So way to go, Peter. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I got to say something. After a month and a half on my journey, my body stopped losing weight. It just didn't want to go anywhere. So the trio, the girls, helped me go through this, and taught me what to do with my body to get it back again. And this is the biggest help that I could get, because as soon as you get stuck, and there is no hope, and I exercise every day and I would not go anywhere, right? So that's frustrating for somebody who is dedicated and motivated to lose weight. So help means a lot from the professionals to show you the way when you're stuck halfway through your journey.
Yeah.
So thank you, ladies.
Okay. Hey, Peter. Hey, you know what I love most about what you were saying tonight? That you should see me in 3 months, and we
Yeah.
do. I want to make sure that when I gather with so many of our followers, we want to show everybody in 3 months where you are. So,
Yeah.
so Zan, let's make sure that we stay.
We will make sure. I will keep you accountable too. So add one more lady to that. It's no trio now. It's quadruple.
For sure.
Quartet, for sure. There you go. Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you, Suzanne. Let's move over to Melanie. Melanie, tell us about your past.
I'm so excited to be interviewing Miss Patty down here. She is coming to us from near Houston, Texas. And Patty, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about sort of your background in regards to your struggle with weight and weight loss?
Well, my family we have kind of a tendency, we all have kind of a tendency to be heavy. And as I got older in life and I started gaining weight, and I've been heavy most of my adult life now, very heavy, and try to, like we all say, every diet under the sun. And but one in particular I was on most, quite often, but it's just a little more liberal than, it was great because I thought, oh gosh, I can eat all the foods I love, the fast food and all the carbs and everything, but it didn't work for me because you have to be very disciplined. But when Tanya Hobelman is my sister-in-law and my coach. So when she jumped on this after we were quarantined, they were here, we were quarantined together. She said, I'm getting on this. I'm doing this TLS. I'm going to coach it. And I said, okay, let's do it. I'll do it with you. So, and so we began eating things that we hadn't been eating, and, healthy stuff and things that were on our food list and all that stuff. And it was hard, but anyway, so I'm kind of fumbling around, but the background is I like fast food. I love fast food. I've been on my own for many, many, many years. I've been divorced for several years, and my children are grown and gone, and it's just fast. I used to be a great cook, used to love to cook. I don't like to cook anymore. So it's just so easy to go drive through somewhere, come home, watch TV, and sit in your chair, And so consequently I've done that, and here I am today,
Right.
So
I think you had said to me or wrote to me that it was about 150 pounds that you had gained over
yes.
a period of time.
Right.
And that can be quite daunting to look at and go, okay, like, you know, why bother, or why start, or, you know, big
Yeah.
mountain here. And so I just want to applaud you for joining Tanya in the TLS journey. And, you know, she'd often, I check on Tanya quite often. And so she's like, she called me the food Nazi today. You know, and so I mean, she did mention that you were struggling. And so when we spoke, you had said, you know, that was the toughest part for you, was, you know, the real shift in going from processed or fast foods to more of a whole food eating. What I think is so incredible is, you know, something you shared with me today, Patty, which was how you feel now.
Right. And I've known for years that the fast food, the carbs, they affected my sinuses, chronic sinus problems. How I feel when I get up in the morning, you know, that kind of thing. And really so getting off of those carbs automatically makes you feel better, you know. But I was quite grumpy coming off of them, I'll tell you. For the first 30 days that we started this, I don't know how they made it with me, but they did. And I was rebellious about it. You know, I didn't want to do it. My body's like screaming for cheeseburgers and French fries and stuff. But we did it, and I feel amazing. Really feel amazing. I don't know if you want me to tell my weight loss or anything, but
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I've lost 60 pounds since January 2020, but I've lost 38 pounds since September 30th on TLS, and 18 inches. So my knees are super bad from being heavy all my life mostly, and I've had to use a walker that rolls to get around. I was even doing that recently in the last year, and I don't have to do that anymore. It's kicked to the curb. I can go to the mailbox, you know, and go in the little convenience store. I don't have to use anything to help me walk, you know, and it's absolute freedom. And you realize I mean, we've heard people say, well, I'm not going on that diet because that's just prison. I'll eat what I just can't. I want to do what I want to do. But the thing is, you're in prison if you can't move, you know? So that was a discovery for me, and it just realized that I'm missing out on my life. And I've given up so many memories with my children and my grandchildren and with my family because I couldn't participate because of my weight. And you know, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. And this TLS is I love it. I absolutely love it. I'll be on it forever. I will. It will be my lifestyle.
Absolutely. Last program you'll ever need. So
ever.
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear that, Patty. I know you love the shakes too. In fact, when we were talking, you were baking muffins with them. So, you know, you have a couple favorite products, correct?
I do. I love the thermochrome. I was on the old formula. I'm on the new formula now. I do love it. And I do love the shakes. That's just about my favorite TLS products.
Yeah,
The muffins really, you know, learning that you got to eat. That was a different mindset for me. I'm not a snacker, even though I love to eat all those foods. I'm the one that eats 3 times a day, but big meals 3 times a day, or carbs, you know, and that kind of stuff. So snacking was something I had to make myself do, set the alarm on my phone and stuff like that. But it really does make a difference. And I'm changing my mindset now. So it's
awesome.
It's good. It's all good.
Patty is really truly incorporating all aspects of TLS, which is Patty, why you're creating such success, why you feel like you've kind of come out the other side brand new, feeling amazing. So we're so happy that you joined us here tonight to share. I think so many people need to hear your story. So thank you for your courage for sharing.
Thank you.
Patty, I sense that you're cooking again. Are you cooking more now?
Well, yes, I am trying to learn. Tanya's teaching me. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I am cooking more because I don't want to go get fast food. So I try to have everything in the house that the whatever we have, the chicken, and I have my favorites. I'm a creature of habit. So I have my favorite things that I eat. And yeah, so I
Well,
used to be a great cook, but it was all that, you know,
I
country
feel a
soul food I
comeback
grew up
coming
on.
on here.
Yes.
I feel a comeback. All right. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Dr. D, I'm going to turn over to you.
Fantastic. I mean, this is really exciting for me. I get to introduce you. I mean, besides meeting new friends and finding out like the versatility, sharing with everybody the versatility of those shakes, whether it's a quick snack or you're able to make those carb muffins that you want, but of course they're higher in protein. It's super exciting for me to introduce Susan Luna. Susan and I have known each other professionally for years now. And she's incredibly motivated. She's an incredibly motivated woman. I was evidenced by Susan. Tell us how many children you have.
I haven't even told you I added another one. I married my next door neighbor and his 3 kids, and I already had one. And then I fought for custody of 3 teenagers, which I say makes me a saint and stupid. Depends on the day.
Yeah,
and stupid's winning with COVID because they're all home. And during last week, we had no electricity and very little water, and I had 5 kids at home. I also took in my son's best friend. So now I've got 5 kids, 18 to 24, living in my house.
It's absolutely, and she has her own business as a physical therapist, and so very motivated to really just to be a part of her community, and is a consummate healer. And what we're finding is a common story for so many healers, for so many executives, for so many of us, is that we end up kind of pushing away the things that we're supposed to be doing for ourselves. And I think it's because sometimes we feel like self-care is selfish. And in fact, it's not, because Peter would tell you it makes him available to do the jobs he's meant to do, is making and helping Patty be available, not just to herself, but to her family. And so that's kind of where I think we have found your ups and downs, because your family is big and you're very much a healer. But tell us a little bit, because this didn't start when the 5 kids moved in over the last 9 months. So to bring us back, where did this begin for you?
So I've been fighting weight loss my whole life. My whole family is genetically predispositioned for, you can look at any family photo on either side of my family, and they all have the health related issues. A real wake-up call was my ex-husband died at 51 with a heart attack from diabetes and high blood pressure that was weight gain related. And he and I had gone to a psychologist for 6 months to learn how to do weight loss. We've done all the weight loss programs, and I was successful at times. I'd lose 50 pounds, I'd lose 90 pounds. And I'd keep it off for a period of time when I could just focus on me. But as soon as life, and I'm an overachiever, I've got like 10 things going on at a time. And so as soon as my life got busy, I had an addiction to the drive-through as well. Had nothing to do with liking the food or wanting the food. It was, I got 10 minutes, I got to go pick up a kid, and which drive-through. I actually select the drive-throughs by who's fastest. So Chick-fil-A and I are pretty good friends. And so it's one of those things. So starting a business and running a business while working full-time in another job as a physical therapist, the weight just snuck back on, especially with all the kids and putting them first. I was tutoring 4 kids every night after work for 3 or 4 hours. And I just gave up on exercise and eating healthy. There wasn't time for food prep, and I gave up. And so, I've been on this yo-yo. I'm an athlete. I love playing basketball. I love being active. And all of that has been squeezed out. And now I won't play basketball at the weight I'm at, because I know what it does to your knees. I've been the one rehabbing total knee replacements as a rehab physical therapist for years. And I've watched people lose, all different things from health related issues that were directly as a result of weight gain. So, I'm super educated, just I never really take the time for me. And this was the time I said, you know what, guys, it's all about me for a year. And I had to actually make that a commitment, tell them I love them, but you need to solve your problems on your own a little bit. They're old enough, they need to do that anyway. But it's about me. I bought myself a 2021 Camaro. I get my nails done every 2 weeks, and I'm losing the weight this year. And that's what it's about. And so I'm ready to take control of it. I'm ready to keep it gone. I refuse to be what everybody else in my family is, which is sick from overweight. And I know I can lose it and I can keep it off. And this is the time to do it. And I want to be a TLS coach, and I can't do that at the weight I am, because I need to show that the progress works and that the program works. And so, and it's affected my whole family. Which was super exciting. My son, Juanito, I said, you got to do this with me the first time that I did it. And he lost alongside me. And for the first time, he loved the way he looked. First, I'm gonna get emotional. First time in his whole life. It's the first time in his whole life that girls were looking at him. I said, you better watch it. You lose another 10 pounds, they're going to be talking to you. And he was like, yeah, right, whatever. He went to college. He was like, everybody's staring at me. And I'm like, yeah, they're interested. And so we had a lot of fun with it. And I laughed because one of the guys at work said, he goes, why don't you put everybody on it? I was like, dude, there'd be anarchy. Everybody eats corn dogs and hamburgers at my house. Did you know every single kid in my family eats healthier? And it was funny. Tonight was an example. My husband wanted hot dogs. Do you know they're sitting on the stove and my kids were eating the TLS food that I normally eat? They left the hot dogs and didn't want them. They go, ooh, that's gross. And I just thought it was great. Like, it was like, oh my God, this is something that I'm giving to my kids that wasn't given to me. My dad started every meal with a scoop of Crisco. So I grew up with fried foods and country cooking. So, you know, to be able to hand that to my kids is exciting.
Absolutely. And that was one of the things that really stood out to me, because you have big goals for yourself. And you can share with us kind of your goal for the weight that you want to lose. But I think one of the things that really stands out and is so powerful, Susan, is that some of the motivation here allows you to still be able to be that healer, because you're watching the family kind of trend in the right direction with you. And that I have to appreciate that's motivating. But share with us your goal. You want to lose a good number of pounds this year.
So I want to lose 100 pounds by the end of the year, starting in January. And so I've lost, my goal is 10 pounds a month. And that gives me a couple of months to have life happen, which has been a big struggle in February because of all that happened last week. I'm sitting around the house all day with nothing to do, but I still did good. So I was proud of that. But because of I'm in Houston, so the whole winter weather thing,
Texas,
I was locked in for 4 days with 3 days with no electricity. Lots of fun. But yeah, so I want to lose 100 pounds. I'm at 17, so I'm on track for February. I got my 10 pounds for January. And I did the TLS before, and I lost 40 pounds in 4 months and kept it off for quite a long time. And so this is the only program that's ever worked for me. I've done all the others, and I've lost the weight and I've gained it back. And this one, even though I wasn't on it the whole time, I think I'd probably be another 50 pounds heavier had I not done TLS before, because it never leaves you. I laugh because I'll make dinner for the family and I forget the bread. I don't eat bread. And so, you know, and you were talking about small accomplishments. Sure. I went out to a Mexican restaurant, which we have plenty here, right? It's Houston. I said, no, I don't want the tortillas. No, I don't want the chips. You can take those back. And it's a small thing, but God, how many calories were in those tortillas and chips? Those are homemade tortillas. Those aren't those store-bought kind. Those are like fat.
Right, so you add that up over time, right? The tortillas here, the bread there, the more movement, because you're feeling like you can do that. Obviously, the stress relief from the self-care, right? All of that is going to add up, and it's going to come together in those huge wins, and continue to see that motivation with, you know, your 10 pounds a month is completely doable. It's a healthy weight loss. It keeps us very motivated. You're obviously motivating a large family, and you're doing it again, right? Because you were with us for the first 28 days of weight loss, and now you're doing it again, and it's going to continue. We're going to, just like Peter, we're going to be checking back in with you in a handful of months. so that we can just continue to encourage you, give you, you know, your round of applause. Definitely check in to find out how the family is doing. Do you have a tip for people to keep them motivated, or
Yes.
it could be routine with the product? What is a good tip for us?
So I love the acts. For me, that's very important because my life is going to be stressful. There's days that are just out of control. I've been in the hospital with my father-in-law for 4 days because I'm the healthcare person. So I'm either treating family after I get off work because I get rid of pain in like 2 to 3 sessions. So I get a phone call at 9 o'clock at night. Oh, my leg's killing me. You got to come over. So I get pulled in a lot of directions. And so the axe helps me because I think I do have thyroid stuff that just can't quite get diagnosed. And so I think it just keeps me balanced. I'm probably the only person who doesn't have that. And so the other thing is the shakes. What I do is I actually have a secretary now at my office, which has been so helpful. She guards my schedule. She won't let me overbook myself,
Good
which
for you.
if somebody says they're really hurting, I'm like, show up at 8, I'll get you tonight. She doesn't let me do that. I don't answer the phone. I don't schedule myself. My hours are set. And I try my really hardest not to answer the phone or even listen because I'll bend over backwards for anyone. But the big tip for me is take the shakes and I freeze them and I keep them in my freezer at work. And so when I get an extra client or my time gets taken, I get on a phone call and I didn't get a chance to go home. I live 1 block from my office to eat. Then what I do is I pull that shake out, put it on my desk and I sip on it. And that takes care of being hungry. I put my greens in there. I put my collagen in there. So it's a pretty powerful thing with my strawberries or something in there to flavor. And so sipping on
You have
that.
to sell your booster. That's great.
And when I get off work, I'm not starving. And I don't have this, oh my God, I haven't eaten all day. I can go through the drive-thru and eat whatever I want. That stupid
There you
voice
go.
in my head that says, you know what, you haven't eaten all day. You can eat whatever you want. When I eat the shakes, and I did this tonight, I got off work and I had been sipping on a shake all afternoon. I didn't give myself permission to go do that or go home and
love it.
eat too much. And that was something that little voice said, you deserve it. You haven't eaten all day. You got all these calories you haven't eaten, but we all know you can't eat them right before you go to bed. So that would be my tip.
That's fantastic. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that, Susan.
That was so good. Well, congratulations to you. You know, thank you for your services on that, and Peter for your services and the armed services. But you know what? I guess what's most impressive so far to me and listening to our first 3 guests is, you know, their drive, that optimism to make it happen. And again, that's supporting the joys of weight loss, everyone. I just want you to know. And when Patty said she's has a better mood, see, I told you so. I told you so. Thanks, Steve. We'll come back to you and just a few. Andrew, do you have any thoughts so far?
I'm listen, as I said at the onset, this is the most inspiring hour of the week, and it's holding true. I mean, Patty and Peter and Susan, I mean, these are great stories. And like you said, it's the courage to get started and the consistency. And it's great to learn how you're impacting other family members and, you know, just motivating them just because of your, you know, success and your progress. I think that's very inspiring and as well. So congratulations to you guys. It's really great to learn about your success so far.
Excellent. Great. Hey, well, it's my turn. I want to introduce my special guest, Yolanda. Yolanda is living out in the great Northwest. Is that correct? Still commuting between the great state of Washington and Las Vegas, Nevada?
Yep.
Absolutely. Now, I know you as an entrepreneur, and it was really great to get some of the insight that's happening with you and our TLS weight loss solution. And I'd like you to tell everybody a little bit, because you're a little bit different in the way that you're approaching this and the things that you're focused on. So please share with us a little bit on where you are and why you got started on this.
Okay. Yeah, well, thank you for inviting me and share my story. I'm a retired Boeing engineer. So the background is Seattle, but I'm actually just traveled to Vegas last night. So I'm currently in Las Vegas. And I have 3 grown daughters. And so ever since my teenage years, I kind of struggle with my weight. This is not as common in the Chinese community. My heaviest was 165 pounds after my 3rd daughter. And you know, at that time I was working more than a full-time job. I actually also own a gas station, Arco AMP, and 24/7. And with 3 kids, I was really just stressed out. And also, you know, like other guests, I'm putting other before me. And so I, you know, just really had a really sedentary life and, you know, kind of let it go. But I started the TLS, the first time was in 2009. And at that time, I just follow really to a T of the low glycemic food and the meal plan. I lost from 165, actually went to 125 pounds, but that was without doing any exercising. So I was never a person that do a lot of exercise. So that was one thing that I didn't do. And I still lost the weight, but then I kind of fluctuate between 130 to 140 pounds for all these years. And then this time, I joined the 28 days weight loss challenge because in end of 2019, I met my boyfriend, who is an avid runner, and he exercises every day. So that has kind of changed. One of the things in my habit is I start exercising every day. But one of the things is pandemic hit and we started cooking at home. And he is, I think, more like what Susan has experienced, was sharing, eating a lot of fast food. And then he's a good cook. So my diet started going into eating more homemade pizza, a lot of red meat, steaks. And then I never had Chick-fil-A, but then I started eating Chick-fil-A, you know, after I met him. And so then I started seeing my weight start creeping up. December, I gained 5 pounds because I started making like never had before St. Louis gooey butter cake. And, you know, and I was like, oh no. So once I heard the 28-day weight loss challenge is starting in January, I was like, I gotta do this because I'm not gonna let my weight creep up like before. And so that's how I started with this program this time.
Wonderful. Now, it wasn't all peaches and cream. There were probably some struggles in this process coming back.
Yeah. One of the things is that you know, I do enjoy cocktail and I like to have like wine, and so that was one thing. And I knew you know, going in is that alcohol should cut out completely. So I did 10 days, really just didn't have any drink. And then we had a habit of going to like Friday night, date night. So the first drink I took was 10 days into the program and didn't even feel really, you know, that tasty. And I was like, oh, but I think a lot of people, you know, with this program, I think it's so, you can customize, and I understand that, you know, alcohol isn't something that's great for weight loss, but I do enjoy a social drink here and there. So I kind of incorporate into using immunity and collagen at night, so to substitute. But I don't beat up myself about if I do have a drink, and then I'm giving myself a pass sometimes.
Well, that's a very good point that you bring up. And, you know, we're not asking everyone to be, you know, not have a social life, and having a cocktail on occasion is fine. And you know what, you did great. You started off your first 10 days and you were in an environment where you had one, but you just proved to yourself you didn't have to have them. And so this was really strong. And that's one of the things a lot of people say about once they start living the lifestyle, things that they used to want. And Patty said this earlier, things that she used to want, she's not, you know, necessarily going after what she used to always have. And I think that's really, really important that you bring out. What has been your success since the 28 days, since getting back engaged with the TLS weight loss solution?
This time, I really learned and incorporated the exercise. So from Dr. D, I learned, you know, you can start at any age, never too late. And I incorporated the strength training and then weights into my my exercising. Before, when I do exercise, like last year during the pandemic, I was doing more like walking, and then also I enjoy dancing, so Zumba. But beginning in January, I incorporated the weights. So I started with 5-pound dumbbell. Now I'm working up to 10 and then 12.5. And that has really helped me. My knees, I'm so excited. Sometimes I feel kind of silly, but I can do jumping jacks. To me, it's just, I couldn't even imagine doing that, because when I was in my late 40s, I couldn't even climb up and down 2 flights of stairs, in my 2-story home. So I'm very protective of my knees. And then now I can do that. So thank you, Dr. Deidre.
That's fantastic. Now, do you have a favorite product that during this program?
I have a lot. And protein shake, the vanilla protein shake, I make pre-made 12 muffins. And then I take them out as a snack or part of my breakfast. It's being so easy for me now. And then with one muffin, I kind of calculated 1 scoop of the protein shake is snack, right? So if I make 4 scoops for 12 muffins, so I can eat 3, and that just equal 1 snack, but I only eat 1. So, that's great. And I feel full. And then the other thing is CLA. With my exercise now, I feel like it's really, I notice the effect so much more. I'm losing my middle section, which is the hardest, but now I'm taking consistently 4 CLA a day, plus doing the weight and strength training. I'm losing the middle section.
That's great. That's so good, Yolanda. I am in love with the CLA, when you use the tonillin ingredient, which is where the studies were done. I'm in love with it because, like you, it really helps with the midsection. And by limiting your grains, that really helps take it in too. So really the lifestyle plus your consistency, taking the CLA correctly. Too many people do not take the products the way they are instructed to be taken, especially when we're talking CLA, especially when we're talking our core product. Whether you're doing a trim cafe or a trim tea, we have the TLS X can have a little versatility to it based on your stressful times. But at the same time, I just want to commend you on making that commitment. It is just so, so very impressive. Absolutely. And do you have a tip for our listeners tonight that you'd like to share?
I do. And this is why I'm so passionate. I'm so thankful that I'm here today. And then I feel like this is something I'm turning, I turned 60 last year. Didn't really celebrate. So I guess I'm staying at 59.
You get to do it. You get to do it this year.
But, never too late to start. I'm even telling my mom, she's 85. I said, Mom, you can start strengthening your muscle too. And then I think, this is really one tip that I love the TLS program, because it's just incorporating the exercise, the education, the supplementation, and then eating the low glycemic food. So all of that, and then customized to your lifestyle. And then that is the lifestyle and that I'm going to live, and then hopefully to share with as many people as possible.
That's great.
Thank you so much. Very insightful. I want to, Dee, I want to come back to you for a moment. Something Peter said early on, and I didn't ask the question, but it didn't come up again. So I'm going to just throw this on you. You're unexpected. Peter had a period of time where he was doing things right and he was not seeing anything happen based on pounds. Recommendations for people that have those types of plateaus.
For sure. And one of the things I really appreciated that Peter said about that is that his coaches worked with him, and that kind of support allowed them with Peter to drill down on maybe what was uniquely going on in Peter's life. So that's the number one thing. The pro tip that you have there is that you do have to take a personal inventory and figure out, has something changed? Sometimes it's not as obvious as I had alcohol last night, or I didn't get a good night's sleep and I'm feeling kind of sluggish or stressed. Sometimes we can't point to it, right? Sometimes it's something where we realize that we've been somewhat too consistent. And Patty mentioned this with being a creature of habit, that sometimes we need to, change up our food choices, our protein sources. And what I find is that this, on one hand, it seems like changing up those protein sources or those vegetable sources. I always joke, people really have only 3 vegetables they eat, right? There's all these vegetables you can eat, but we end up like gravitating towards like 3, 4 tops, right? So sometimes changing those things up doesn't just kind of give a jump start to the body, it also gives a jump start to the mind, right? Like you feel like you're getting more rewards. You feel a little more engaged in what you're doing, a little more excited in what you're doing. And that can be helpful. But I think probably the thing that is most underestimated when it comes to, a plateau is how well are you hydrating throughout the day, and how well are you giving your body the ability to detox, right? Sometimes we're not moving enough. So we're not really pumping our muscles and our lymphatics to detox well. And we can hit a plateau that may be a change in water volume. It could be a change in, how our body perceives an inflammatory environment. Women are going to notice this more than men. Simply, cycling women are going to notice this more than men as they cycle up and down. They're going to notice during the mid portion of their cycle, Dennis, that they're just going to want about 500-600 more calories than they previously wanted. And they're definitely going to want more food. So this isn't the time to put someone on a detox, but to in fact do what Yolanda talked about. If I'm going to give myself a little bit of a pass, I'm going to understand that there's something else going on here. But detoxification is really what I ask people to fall back on, whether it is let's do some hepato cleanse, let's do some liver cleansing herbs, let's get you more hydrated. Maybe we're going to add in more fiber to your diet. So pro tip is to evaluate your inventory, right? A personal inventory. What are you personally doing? Look to see if you can change up diet. Maybe you've kind of gotten stagnant with your diet and we're just simply going to get the mind and the salivary glands engaged again. Definitely up our water so that we can start the detox process, but we can also start a better fluid balance. And then we're going to think about detox herbs or detoxification through movement and hydration.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I know many people get frustrated over that, and I know Melanie and Suzanne are constantly working with folks through that and teaching our trainers and certified coaches and so forth. But what I'd like to do now is I'd like to sort of rally around my partners and get their comments for the evening. We're winding down now. So, Andrew, I'm coming back to you again. Let you start it off. So I don't want anybody else stealing your thunder tonight.
No. Thank you, Dennis. It's like I said, it's a pleasure to be a part of this. And, like I said before, the courage of you guys and the success is inspiring to so many people. But I wanted to mention, for me, I've learned a lot just being a part of this team and being a part of this process. Health is very important to me. It's been that way for years and years. And I won't do a workout without having the thermochrome V6 now 15 minutes beforehand, but I've learned a lot. And it's about living a healthier lifestyle, right? We're blessed to have TLS with eating low glycemic index and having the behavior modification through exercise and of course the supplementation. But I just wanted to make a mention. I think, Dr. D, isn't this month Heart Health Awareness Month?
This is I was joking about this earlier. Like, how did we pick the shortest month of the year for one of the most important systems in the body? But this is Heart Health Awareness Month. That's absolutely.
I thought it would be appropriate, then, if it's okay, obviously there's more benefits health-wise than just losing weight, regarding TLS. And Dr. Deidre Mason, along with our president and chief operating officer, Mark Ashley, visited the Cone Health Heart and Vascular Center today. And I thought it'd be appropriate just to take a minute to talk about what you experienced and what the company contributed to that center and how you felt about it today.
Absolutely. I mean, it was really an incredible opportunity because we were, this is a community outreach program that Market America has been involved in for years now in being a part of our local communities and enhancing, in enhancing outreach, enhancing resources, or making sure that people can connect the dots. And probably the key word I would say with what we're doing in the community is increasing awareness around the statistics of chronic illness, but also increasing awareness around avenues, just like we're doing here today with small wins, the small steps you can take towards better health. And that was something that Mark, Ashley, and I had an opportunity to do today. We were able to meet with over 500 healthcare providers today. Of course, say thank you for what they're doing as frontline workers in supporting families, and the amount of emotional drive and physical drive that goes into that, the sacrifice that goes into being a healthcare provider. We had ICE here, Andrew, last week, and many of the doctors at the vascular center were having to find a way to spend the night because the hospital doesn't close. Right. And so we were really fortunate to be able to do something to bring them out to the beautiful sunshine, because we did get that today. We brought them out to the beautiful sunshine. We thanked them for their work. We definitely, we told our greater community what they were doing and why it is a good idea to, to be very regular with your checkups, to make sure that you recognize early signs of chronic illness, and that you feel comfortable talking to your doctors about what just doesn't feel right. And we talked about safety measures and identifying good steps forward. So it was very much an educational solution for them. And we had, our pleasure was to give them our heart health baskets. We gave them gift baskets, over 500 practitioners and doctors and nurses, where we were able to give them our heart health kit, which includes omega-3 fatty acids, a very, very specialized synergistic botanicals for healthy cardiovascular function, keeping cholesterol low. There we go, right there in your practice, Susan. That's perfect. To keep cholesterol within healthy ranges, support the heart from the prevention side, right? Rather than waiting for the intervention side. And that's what makes Market America such a great partner with Cone Health, is because we're really working on sharing awareness about prevention and intervention, the role that lifestyle plays in that, the role that supplements can play in that, the role that healthy weight loss plays in that, to achieve just an overall health, overall well-being. We shared our isotonic vitamin D with them. We shared a fantastic product that quite frankly gets overlooked, Clear Shield, right? A non-toxic, biodegradable barrier for the skin that hydrates, moisturizes the skin at the same time. Your doctors and nurses, your practitioners, Susan, you know this, you're always having to wash your hands, and we're concerned about drying out of the skin. Well, now so many of us are washing our hands more than we did. The cold winters chafe our hands, chafe our skin, and Clear Shield is one of those ways to kind of put some love back into the skin. And that just brings us back to that really great message, right? Small things can lead to huge reward. So even if your self-care today starts with a little bit of Clear Shield, right? A little bit of I'm giving some love to myself, right? Then you're winning. You're knocking it out of the park. Thanks for bringing that up, Andrew.
Yeah. All right. Heart Health Month. All right. Thanks, Dee. Thanks, Andrew. Okay, Suzanne, comments? Final comments?
Well, yeah, February it is Heart Health Month because I'm very heavily involved with the Heart and Stroke Foundation in Canada. So which kind of brings me back and connecting with exactly with what Dr. G was saying, is that when you think about the Tls program, and they all mentioned a few things, is that when you follow the Tls lifestyle, which really eat the perimeter of a supermarket, those food are naturally anti-inflammatory. Just by following the TL's program, you are on your way to prevent heart disease. That's the great thing about it. I almost feel like the side effect is weight loss. The big effect is preventing heart disease, because heart disease is still the #1 disease in the world. It's still killing the most people. And here we are talking about that. We talk about, okay, reduce cholesterol. It's not just reduce cholesterol. It's really about the inflammatory, about keeping yourself active. And this is exactly what TLS is all about. So I want to say, like, you guys has such amazing progress and amazing result and story. And I want to say, you know, your hearts are so big, because I hear you guys saying, I cannot wait to make changes to impact more people. You are going, your heart is full and you're ready to give for other people. So I think goes in line with the whole heart, right? Because heart health is not just for health, it's really for kindness and spreading love at the same time. So
Well
there
said.
it goes.
Suzanne. Awesome. Melanie.
Well, I don't know that I want to follow that up, because that was pretty great. Like, drop the mic, let's send this thing. Suzanne, that was awesome. Because it is true. All 4 of our guests talked about how they wanted to impact other people, how they wanted to share, how they wanted to, you know, coach, they wanted to, you know, impact other people. So that's pretty incredible. I just want to piggyback and end with this, piggyback on what Dee said is, you know, people navigate to their 3 vegetables. And I always warn my clients, this is not a celery and carrot stick program, okay?
Nice.
Like, this is not what you're living off of, please. Make sure that you eat the rainbow. And I put in the chat area, what's in my fridge at all times is, you know, I mean, literally no less than broccoli, cauliflower, 4 types of leafy greens, peppers, cucumbers, tomatoes, zucchini, summer squash, and carrots. Like, that's a pretty, I mean, that is always in my fridge at all time, because I always want as much color on my plate as possible, because then I know I'm getting those nutrients. And speaking of heart health, red vegetables happen to also assist with the cardiovascular support. So make sure you get some red on your plate this month, and eat the rainbow, because, you know, you're getting more nutrition, you're getting different kinds of nutrition from those different colors, and shake it up. Like Dee said, try something else, and you'll be glad you did.
Thanks, Mel. That was awesome. You know what? You named so many vegetables in like one breath. That was, did you get that, Andrew? That's going to be
Yeah, and I learned
the rainbow. And she's not
Eat the
talking
rainbow.
Skittles, people. She's not talking Skittles. Okay. What a great evening tonight. I'm going to give you 30 seconds of things to think about as we move forward. The first thing you need to know, this team cares about each and every one of you, and your success means so much, not to just 1 or 2 people, but to thousands of people. And you being here tonight with us, we're so grateful, and we will be following you as we move forward. But I want everybody to remember, each and every day, make an effort to improve, make an effort so that you can be a better image of yourself. I mean, it's just so important. Small changes do lead to big progress. Okay. Remember that. I want to challenge you to walk at least 10 minutes a day and work up to an hour each day. Okay. It's good. Your body was built for motion. Stick with the plan. That's important to remember. TLS is more than just a product. It's a whole system. It's a lifestyle. And a byproduct is to be able to become more lean and getting rid of some of those unwanted pounds of fat. And something that I've had to train myself is to eat slowly and drink water throughout the day. And please, if you noted all the comments, learn what real nutrition is. Okay. Take a deep dive. And we do offer a free TLS Guide to Success. It's a download, and it's a magnificent journal of information that's available when you take our TLS weight loss profile. Just ask the person that brought you here tonight, and be sure to check it out. All right, we've got one more Weigh-In Wednesday next week. Come join us and have a great week, people. Thank you so much for being with us.
Stay safe and healthy.
Thanks for our participants. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.